Welcome to Top Advisor Marketing, where you will learn how to become a prolific online influencer, attract more ideal clients, and grow your practice. Brought to you by Top Advisor Podcasting, a done-for-you podcasting solution built just for trusted advisors. And now, your co-hosts of Top Advisor Marketing, Kirk Lowe and Matt Halloran.
Hello and welcome to our mini-series on the 7 dynamic digital prospecting tactics. What we're going to do right now is we're going to go over tactic number 6, which is to start your own blog. Now, I'm going to start this one off because I have the easy part of all of this. Kirk has been blogging for many years, so I'm going to leave him to the nuts and bolts of this. I'm going to give the easy thing, which is, hey, download something that we wrote. Kirk wrote this great 5 steps to creating great digital financial content, and we'll, of course, have that link in the show notes here. Or what you can do is you can actually outsource the production of a blog to a ghostwriter. Now, we talked about that a little bit in podcast tactic episode number 5 when we were talking about a white paper. But just first off, if you're going to start blogging, download that white paper, 5 steps to creating great financial content from our website or from the podcast link down below. That's going to get you really in the right state of mind in order to start blogging. But Kirk, you are a blog master. You've been blogging for longer than most people have been in the industry. Let's talk about what you do and really how these advisors are going to create good blogs.
Yeah, just so people know, there's a blog post on how to write a blog post. There's also a white paper, which is a little easier to download, and that's in the Advisor You section. So if you go to topadvisorm.com, top right, it says Advisor You, and click on, I think, podcasting and blogging, or just blogging as one of the categories, you will get that white paper. That you can print and download and have fun with, okay? Mm-hmm. So the second part of tactic 6 here, how to start your own blog, is to just get down to business. If you're going to write, if you're going to use blogging as a tactic, I should say, you have to be consistent with it. And you need to do this a couple times a month. If you're doing 1 a month, I'd say that's a little on the light side. 2 is optimal, and 4 would be really good, but most advisors aren't going to find that kind of time. You have to be extremely systematic about how you write blog posts. You have to come up with a formula. You'll see that in the white paper we talked about a moment ago. If you can be systematic about it and get a white paper done in an hour, hand it off to an editor or a proofer in your company for them to do their thing for half hour, and then somebody else go find some graphics and post it in another half hour, 45 minutes, you've got a system. You are more likely to get it done. If you just haphazardly waltz through this, you probably will lose steam and you will not be consistent. Therefore, you will not grab the attention of the blog community, right?
Yep.
So blogging is good in that you do get a lot of SEO value from it versus, a different type of SEO value than you would in a podcast or a video or a vlog. But it's still, it's an important part if you can get it done. We've found that if you try to take a podcast and take the recording and turn it into a blog post, it's not a straight line, if you will. Mm-hmm. So you can do that. It takes almost the same amount of time, to be honest, to get that done as it would to write from scratch. So just keep that in mind if that's something you think is going to happen, because we've been in this podcast to blog post game for a long time, and it's not as quick and easy as it sounds, because you spend all your time reorganizing it. You might as well have just written it from scratch. Sometimes writing from scratch is easier than trying to reorganize something.
Yeah.
It might sound odd, but I've been there many times. So once you've drafted your post, you're going to hand it off to somebody to edit. They're going to create a graphic for it, and you're going to have to put the title. Always leave your post the title of your blog post is the last thing you do. A lot of people try to start with the title. That's actually the last thing you do. And then you're going to publish your blog on your blog. Most of your website platforms will allow you to post blogs. And so that should be pretty easy. When you set up your blog post, you always want to make sure there's a call to action to get them to do something else. That call to action shouldn't be, let's meet for a coffee, in my opinion. It should be, here's a white paper. It could be, here's my podcast. It could be, feel free to ask me a question if this blog post raises any in your mind. Something that's really easy. I think that's really important to do. And that's the end of point 2 here.
All right. As always, when you write something like this, you should do your best to share it at an appropriate interval. We say that sharing your blog 1 to 2 times a week is fantastic. And actually, we already covered sharing in our one of the earlier podcasts in this 7 digital or dynamic digital prospecting tactics miniseries. But it's all about engagement. When somebody reads your blog and there's something that strikes a chord with them, validate that connection. Do that by thanking people for liking it, commenting, having them have another conversation, but really just engage in the people with the people who are engaging in your blog. All right, Kirk, what else you got?
Yeah, so the fourth point here is to invite guest bloggers to share your post and or to either provide their own blog for their own post for your blog, or to combine efforts, or to ask or quote them or something like that. That's a great opportunity to extend or strengthen relationships that you have with centers of influence, any clients. It's also an opportunity to ask clients for people that they know, centers of influence that they know, that they work with, other professionals, for instance, that you can start relationships with. So you can get an introduction, say, hey, I'd like to do a guest blog. I'm looking for some help with taxes. Do you know anybody, who to use for taxes? Mm-hmm. Would they be somebody that is has enough expertise that I could contact them and get them to write a blog post with me? And that's a great opportunity to expand your network, to do something, to ask a client for some help. People love being asked for help, by the way. What they don't like being asked for is, hey, do you know any centers of influence so I can get to refer me business so I can make more money in my practice? Right? That's not the best. And there are a lot of referral coaches who'll tell you how to, massage that so that it doesn't sound greedy or like you're asking for money, but it pretty much always does.
Yeah.
So this is a different way to do it. This is all about creating value for your audience. It's about making people feel good about helping you, because people typically do want to help you. So this is a great way to start that conversation.
And finally, if your blog post is kicking butt, if you notice that there's all sorts of likes, all sorts of shares, all sorts of comments, that means that your audience is hungry for that information. And when they're hungry for that information, that means that you should take it to the next level. That next level could be a white paper, just like we talked about in the last podcast. Or it could be a great topic for not just one podcast, but maybe even a podcast mini-series. Give your audience, your listeners, your readers, your followers what they want, and especially when they show you they want more, it's even better. And that's tactic number 6, start your own blog. Our goal here is to make sure that you're continuing to build momentum, that you're continuing to put out thoughtful content that's organically created, because that's what the search engine and the algorithms like. And that is what dynamic digital prospecting is all about. So that was tactic number 6 for Kirk Lowe. This is Matt Halloran. If you have not subscribed to our podcast yet, make sure that you do that. You click the subscribe now button below. That way, every time we come out with a new mini-series like this, or when we come out with a new piece of a good idea for marketing, it will show up directly on your listening device. We've got one more, which is tactic number 7, and it'll be coming to you very soon.
Are you ready to change the way you communicate with your clients? Are you tired of being the best kept secret in your area? Learn how to become a prolific online influencer, attract more ideal clients, and grow your business. Contact us today and see what the power of podcasting can do for your business. Click on the Contact Us link on our website at topadvisormarketing.com and set up a call to learn more. Follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook for more updates and information.